That's got a case that's going to be heard this morning. Are you signed in at the back at the podium?
The OTA hearings will come to order. Welcome to all of you who are joining us. My name is Jim Rickoff. I am the hearing officer presiding over the cases today. I am not a city employee. I am contracted to hear these cases and make an impartial decision on each issue. I'm experienced in this work since I spent 30 years across the street in the Elkhart Superior Court 5. So I believe I'm pretty capable of listening to evidence and making impartial decisions. The way the morning will go forward is that your case will be called. When you are called, please go up and have a seat at that table there. The format will have the city presenting its issues. From what I read, they're trying to establish that these structures at issue today are dangerous and not in compliance with the Elkhart Code. The city will present its evidence. You will have an opportunity to cross-examine the city's witnesses if you wish. You're not required to do so. And I'll ask whatever questions I think are helpful to get any questions in my mind answered. Once the city has presented its evidence, then you will have a chance to tell your side. The city may cross-examine you, and of course you may present witnesses of your own. Once all that is done, if I can rule from the bench so that you know what the result will be, I'll do that. I will follow up in any event with a written order and findings of facts so that you can see how and why the case was decided the way it was. If you have questions about the process or anything else when you get to the table, feel free to ask. So at this point, will anyone who's going to testify today please stand and raise your right hands to be sworn? Yes. Everybody who's going to testify. Do you and each of you swear so help you God or affirm under the penalties of perjury that the testimony you give here today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. Be seated, please.
The owner here for 1622 Roy's, or any party connected with 16?
Yes, this is Debbie Marcantonio. I represent Central Region Tax Auction for 1622 Roy's Ave. Can you hear me okay?
1622 Royce, right? Okay, we need this. You need to keep standing. We need to swear you in.
Right here by
You can
this
come
table.
up here to this table up here.
Right hand, please. You swear so help you God or affirm under the testimony penalties for perjury that the testimony you give here will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Have a seat, please. Your name is Anzaldua Ruben. Did I pronounce that right? Okay. And you know why you're here today? Mr. Bastine indicates that you and he have come to an agreement on the issues in your case. Is that right? I'm going to have Mr. Bastine read for the record what he thinks the agreement is, and then I'll ask you if you think that's what the agreement is.
So per our conversation the other day, we're going to ask the hearing judge to go for a full demo order, okay? Within a period of 2 weeks from today, which would be February 12th, you need to contact the building inspector for a fire report. So anytime from today till the 12th, you have that time frame to contact him. We gave him your business. We gave you all the business cards. Contact him to get a report on what you need to get done. And then the period of time frame will be 6 months from today, which will be July 29, 2025, to complete the project. Of course, if you need more time, things aren't going as fast as you want, contact me and we'll work with you. Okay, we have
Tim, hold on. Could you move closer so you can actually get on the record? Closer to the microphone. Speak into the microphone.
Yes, sir.
Is his microphone on?
Yes.
Okay.
Ben, is that the agreement that you and the city have made? It's a complete agreement? Mm-hmm. Do you have any questions about the agreement?
No, we already got it set up very good.
I will simply enter findings that the property is subject to the terms of these agreements, or terms of this agreement, and send you a copy. Is 1622 your mailing address?
1622 Royce Avenue.
Is that where you get your mail?
Yes.
Okay.
No, yeah. Yes. That's the only place I got right now.
Do you have any questions? Thank you for coming.
Kevin?
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess I should let the city say anything it wants to beyond what Mr. Bastina said.
I have nothing for the record, Your Honor.
Much.
All right, the next case is 1005 North Street.
State your name, please.
Robert Krasinski with the law firm of Cadillus Law.
And you heard everything I said before. Your relation to this case is what?
I represent the first mortgage holder.
Do you represent the current owner?
I represent the mortgage holder, the bank.
Lien holder.
Stephen Kiefer? How do you want to proceed?
Trent, you want to go ahead and tell him why we're here?
Okay.
And then we'll let him.
Let's just go through the normal process. Is what I'm asking again. So, ready?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Mr. Avance, you state your name for the record, please.
Trent Avance.
Okay. Are you employed as a code inspector for the city of Elkhart?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And during your employment as a code inspector for the city of Elkhart, are you familiar with the address 1005 North Street in Elkhart?
Yes, I am.
Okay. How are you familiar with the address?
It's an unsafe building.
What makes it an unsafe building, Mr. Avance?
IC 36-7-9-4. This building is, it was fire damaged on 10/31/23. On the second floor, it is vacant. Blight to the community. The city has boarded it up. It's a public nuisance. At times where people have broken in, so we had to board it up. It's an attractive nuisance. The FOP park is not too far away. It is, it's been vacant for a while, and it's vacant and it's attractive to vandalism.
Say again, please.
It's attractive to vandalism also.
Okay. Okay. And what is your recommendation to the hearing officer?
For demo of the house and garage.
Okay. Have you found any other issues with the house?
No, I haven't. Maybe the building commissioner could speak on it if you like.
Your question, I'm sorry, Kevin?
Is there any other issues found with the property other than what Mr. Avance has mentioned?
The property, as far as I'm aware, that we had to board it up because several times, because homeless people were getting in there, and I believe that was the cause of the one fire, was homeless were getting in the second floor, and they lit a fire to stay warm. So it's been boarded up for, I'm going to say, well over a year.
Has there been any contact with the owner?
Building commissioner would speak.
I have had personal contact with the owner. He's kind of not really fully understanding what State Farm's doing for him, his insurance company. He has been living in a hotel room since the last fire.
Is there anything else? Okay. Mr. Avance, what is your recommendation for the property?
Demolition of the house and garage.
All right, thank you. Nothing else?
Ray Vance, you said something about it's attractive to vandalism. What does that mean?
With it being vacant, there's alleys. A lot of mischief by children and pedestrians, people going by, as it was stated by the building commissioners, homeless getting in. Notice
When
here.
the homeless got in, was that through a boarded entrance? Or was that
Once
before
before it
boarded?
was boarded, but then we had to do it the second time to have it boarded around, completely around the house. Because the one board on the front door, they were able to take off and to get inside.
Thank you very much. I will find that then, based on this evidence, that the building is unsafe and authorize the city to demolish it at a time of its choosing. Anything else on that one? Oh,
I said I represent mortgage holder, the property. Fortunately, with the bank, we're in the property, they really can't.
So it goes into foreclosure on the 26th of March of this year, correct?
It's in
Sheriff's sale is on
foreclosure.
the 26th.
Yeah.
The sheriff's sale.
It's in foreclosure.
We are in a judgment of foreclosure.
So what type of time frame do you need then?
Roll this or reset the state. Actual information.
We don't have to reset this hearing. I think we should, if we go forward with the findings of fact and have the order to demolish entered, then that order is good for 2 years. If the house sells in March to the new owner takes the property subject to the order to take action. Then the new owner can reach out to the city and enter into a compliance agreement for which the city will be more than happy to enter into to save the property.
I agree with that. I don't have a problem with, entering the full demo order, and then that'll give you plenty enough time to get your orders into affairs in order.
I, based on what I've heard, I'm inclined to enter the order, but stay it until the 1st of April. That gives you time. The city probably wouldn't get to it before then anyway, but I like to have the rules clear.
So if you can get back to us then, on or before the 1st of April, I'll give you a business.
When the property sells, just notify the city who the new owner is and the contact information, then we'll reach out to the new owner and go from there. Get this order reissued.
Anything else on this one then? Cleveland Place. Is this your mailing address?
That is the office address.
Send it here.
Yes.
Great. Anything else from the city?
No, Your Honor.
929 Middlebury. Anybody here to speak for 929 Middlebury?
You ready? Yes, sir. Can you state your name for the record, please?
Trent Vance.
You employ as a code inspector for the city of Elkhart.
Yes, I am.
Are you familiar with the property located at 929 Middlebury Street in Elkhart?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And how are you familiar with it? Can you tell us about the property?
This property is considered as unsafe building, according to the IC 36-7-9-4. It's been vacant and abandoned. It's a blight. It is a public nuisance. The FOP Park is where the Little League is about 1,000 feet from it. There's a cemetery right across the street. This property is on the main thoroughfare on Middlebury Street that there's a lot of traffic that drives down this street and they see this property. The city has boarded it up a couple of times. The homeless have gotten in. We mowed it multiple times. It's on an alley. A lot of pedestrians, a lot of children walk through the alley and down the street. It's an attractive nuisance to all type of activity that could take place. As you can see on the pictures, at photo see, photo 1 of 3. It shows that on 12/2/24, we take pictures of the front of the building. It's been boarded up. First, we boarded up the entry door, and the homeless were able to get in, and the building commissioner suggested that we would board up the entire building on the first floor because of the activity of the homeless getting inside.
In your photos, you show there's a picture of the garage, if I'm referring to photos 7 of 8 and 8 of 8. What's the status with the garage?
The garage has been demolished. I don't know who demolished it, but it's been demolished.
So now we're just looking for the house.
That's correct. Demolition of the house.
Is there anything else?
No, unless the building commissioner wants to speak on it.
Thomas Hardman? Thomas Hardman? I'll find then that the, building at 929 Middlebury is unsafe. On code definition, and authorize the city to demolish it at a time of its choosing.
Great.
Sure.
412-414 West Beardsley.
My favorite.
Will you tell us your name, please, and spell your name?
My name is Matt Gruntman. It's spelled Mattgruntman.
Can you spell your last name?
Gruntman.
And what is your connection with this property?
With Preferred Properties of Indiana, the tax lien holder.
Tax lien holder?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
One moment. Thank you. Right. Mr. Timmons, can you state your name for the record, please?
Mayfield Timmons.
Are you employed as a code inspector for the city of Elkhart?
Yes, I am.
Okay. In your work, have you had occasion to come across the property at 414 West Beardsley Avenue in Elkhart?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell us about the property?
It falls under unsafe building under IC 36-7-9-4. The property at this time is vacant, public and an attractive nuisance. It sits on the northwest corner of West Beardsley and Edwardsburg. It's heavily traveled by students going back and forth to St. Thomas and Northside Middle School. There's a church that sits across the street from it, St. Thomas, and they have different programs throughout the day. So there's a lot of traffic in and out of that church that sees this property. We received numerous complaints on this property throughout last summer.
Can you explain some of the complaints?
The biggest complaint was that they were complaining about it being a drug house and that homeless and different ones were in and out. The city boarded the property up numerous times. Last time we had it boarded up, it's been boarded up for about 4 or 5 months now. Police and the building department, they monitor it constantly every day. So at this time, it's boarded up and secured. I believe the building commissioner might have words on this.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Mr. Vestine.
I think at this point, we will demolition of the property. Hope that you bought it at a tax sale, I believe. That was when, back in October of '24?
I purchased the lien on it in October of 2024. Are you familiar with the tax sale process?
Bought it in October of '24?
The lien.
The lien,
Yeah.
yeah. The tax sale, okay.
Okay.
So, seeing that the actual owner of the property didn't show, I would be willing, did we do a compliance agreement for him?
Technically, no, we can't. We can't because he doesn't own the property. He doesn't get title to the property until after the year has
He has to
expired.
wait the 1 year?
He has to wait the 1 year. Because the current owner of the house has the ability to pay the taxes and to redeem the property.
I guess after your 1 year is up, and correct me if I'm wrong, Kevin, then the current owner, the date, the record, doesn't have any more rights to that
Once the title's been transferred to the new owner.
back in his name. Then I guess at that point, you can contact me and we'll get you into the house, so you can, you're up against quite the task.
That's all right. I've been doing this for 20 years. Is there any option for receivership sooner than that?
I can't let you in the house anytime before 1 year is up.
Okay.
I could try and reach out to the current owner, kind of non-existent lately.
Yeah. Did you send, I received a certified mail, a notice of the hearing. Did you also send that to the current owner? I'd assume everyone on the list.
It's Todd.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have his personal cell phone number, but I've tried reaching out to him to make sure he was going to come to this court hearing, and
Yeah. Okay.
It's a certified letter that was mailed to Overpack's last known address, to answer your question.
Yeah. Did he sign for it, or was it returned to sender?
I do not have proof of service, so I can't answer that for you.
Okay.
I know the postings on the property of this
Yeah.
hearing, so
Yeah.
I know he's local, so I don't know his disposition, what he's doing. I tried calling his one contractor that he had working for him. Not want anything to do with. Stop calling him. So
Okay.
I would say wait your 1 year. Come to see me. I'll get you the property. Needs to be done. We'll come up with a compliance agreement after that 1 year. You good with that, Kevin?
Yes.
You're Kevin Davis, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So we're going to ask the hearing judge to have the full demo order just in case nothing happens for that. I'll have that order in place already. Once you start showing me forward progress that the building's going to get brought up to code, then we'll go.
So what are the timelines on this order?
Well, the demo order is good for 2 years.
Which means
I will see you hopefully the first week of whenever your 1 year is up, and then I'll go 6 months from there.
but what does that mean exactly? That it
I'm sorry?
So then
So
after,
if you come see me in October when you have the property in your name, the deeded property, and Todd has no more rights to it,
yeah,
then I will sit down with you and we'll come up with a I'll get you in the house first so you see what you're up against. And then you tell me how much time you're going to need. I'll give you a minimum of 6 months to get it going. As I see forward progress, if we need to extend that time period, we'll go from there.
So,
That's kind of unclear. I think what he's saying is that I should enter a demolition order, hold it, or restrain the city from taking any action on it pending your acquisition of the title, and then you're getting together with him promptly to come up with an agreement as to how the place can be repaired, or if it can't be repaired, then it'd be demolished.
okay, yeah, I just want to clarify. So there's a demo order, but it's on hold pending my
Correct.
receipt of the deed. Okay.
Questions about that?
I don't know.
No?
Oh, I'd like to put a date on
November 1?
estimated.
Or December 1 of 2025?
Mr. Grumman, you think that'll work?
It'll probably be like usually January 2026 when the deeds come out from the auditor. The courts are slow, sorry. The expiration ends in around October. They have to petition the court.
Yeah.
And by the time the
right.
auditor processes the deed, it's the way the years, the last 15 years, that's how it's gone. So,
Like I said, we won't do anything for the 2 years. So you have
Yeah.
ample enough time to get
uh,
Judge, for your order, let's say January 1 of 2026. That gives you time, because I understand what you're saying, because once you get the
Yeah.
certificate done, it'll take a hot minute for the court to
Yeah.
actually issue the new deed. So that'll give you about 60 days.
okay.
If there's an issue with with the new deed, then you need to reach out to the city and make the city aware of what's going on.
Okay.
So
So,
what I'm saying is, when you petition for the deed to transfer, if there's as you get to the end of December, if you don't have it in hand and the county's not giving you an answer, then you need to reach out to the city.
okay, also, I believe there's some recently passed legislation that authorizes cities to allow tax lien holders to become receivers. If I come across some of that, are you open to talking, discussing some of that? If I send you an email or something?
And if you want to, but
Yeah.
I mean, obviously I'm not your attorney, so I can't give you advice on it. I can look at it.
But I'd need a point of contact with the city that basically I'm assuming you handle most of this. Okay. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
But if not, yeah, we'll go with that.
Okay.
All right, then I will order a demolition of the property stayed until January 1 of '26. Sorry, Mr. Gruntman, would you say your first name again?
Matt,
And what is your mailing address?
P.O. Box 402, Goshen, Indiana, 46527. Okay, thank you.
Good.
$3212 Pleasant Plain.
You were
Morning.
previously sworn.
Yes,
Do you have any questions about anything I said at the outset?
I don't believe so, no.
All right, Mr. Angelmeyer, can you state your name for the record, please?
Bruce Angmeyer, Code Officer.
Okay. In your work as a code officer, are you familiar with the address 3212 Pleasant Plain in Elkhart?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Can you tell us about that property?
3212 Pleasant Plain is a structure that has a large tarp covering most of the house. It's got broken windows, boarded up windows. The garage, or it's another dwelling behind it, has a chimney that appears to be falling down. There's holes that animals are getting into the basement of the house. It's been vacant and people have broke into it, before and stolen stuff out of it, and it's an attractive nuisance.
What do you mean by the term attractive nuisance?
Under the unsafe building, IC code 36794, the attractive nuisance is a large tarp over, it appears to be falling down, broken windows, boarded up windows. It's a nuisance and it's an eyesore for the public.
What's your recommendation for today?
We have spoke to the owner and she wants to do repairs on it. We don't know how, much damage is on the inside, but, there's a lot of work that needs to be brought up to code on the outside. We're asking for a demo order, but if the owner is willing to do a compliance agreement on doing the repairs up to code, we are willing to do that.
Is there anything from the building commissioner?
Is this structure occupied right now, or is it vacant?
It is unoccupied, it's vacant.
Just an estimate, how long has it been unoccupied?
I know it's been unoccupied for over a year. I don't know the exact time on it.
Over a year, though. Okay.
Okay, so for this property, there is a compliance agreement.
There is a compliance
Yes,
agreement?
Your Honor, there's a compliance agreement for this property.
Terms?
She has until July 2020, excuse me. She has until July 29th of 2025 to get the property up to code. Contact have a building contractor, contact the City of Elkhart's building inspector by February 12th of 2025. Make sure that she applies for any necessary building permits and make sure she engages licensed contractor for those services requiring a licensed contractor, and make sure that those permits, once they are granted, are on display for I guess the code enforcement officers that are going or are visiting the property.
What is your name?
My name?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm Nancy Baker. I'm the owner.
And Mr. Davis says that you have made a compliance agreement with the city?
I know this is the first thing I've heard about a compliance agreement with the city. I do not know about that. I'd have to go back, and if there's some document that was sent me, I don't remember seeing that. I did talk to Mr. Engelmeyer at one time. I'm not sure of that date, when he had questioned about the tarp over and wondered about repairs, and I had said I was going to get that done, but I don't know and that's why I'm making some notes, because you're putting down dates, and I wasn't aware of that.
So I guess my question is then, what is your intentions to do with this property?
My intentions is what it's always been since I spoke with Mr. Engelmeyer back before the summer. I'm a school teacher, and I told him I at that time planned to retire, and I told him I thought I would have things He questioned about the tarp. He said somebody had come to him and questioned what was happening with the property. Anyways, probably one of the people that wanted to buy it. And I told him I thought I would have it completed because I had already gotten estimates on the roof. And I can show you documents. I brought some documents about that. Mr. Engelmeyer never got back to me. And I thought what had happened was, as you know, we had a tornado come through. We had several straight line winds come through. I can show you pictures of that. The house, I know that the one side of the house, especially where the sun has hit, is the shingles, it's a single side is very, faded and looks very decrepit. But if you looked at and by the way, it's not a garage, it's a garage that was made into an apartment, but it's not being used as an apartment. But that I'd already had repainted and re-roofed. And you can see the difference. In the pictures even, I have a lot of pictures that show the repeated trees that blocked the driveway 4 times, 4 different trees, and one so bad that they had to call in sort of a specialist because of the way it was hung up, and a lot of brush that had to be moved. So that took a long time, or repeated time, because as you know, many people, including roofers and people that were helping with the tornado that went through Benham, were occupied. And actually, to be honest, I told the tree remover at one time, if you need to help people that need it with families, take care of their tree removal first. So my intent, and I can show you, and I have a email that came in 2 days ago from Unique Siding in Goshen. I can show you both. They had the original estimate. It was re-estimated about the time that Mr. Engelmeyer first contacted me last spring. It was because, anyways, they have it. I'm under contract with them. I've paid a deposit. The house does not need to be demolished. As you state, you have not been in the inside. There was, and the animals cannot get into the basement. The hole you saw for the groundhog goes under a separate back porch area. But I understand how I boarded up the windows quickly when it was raining, freezing rain, after it had been broken into. So I boarded it up. I screwed all the windows shut. Nobody can get into it. I have not, because I was going to have, Unique Siding has also given me an estimate to do all the siding work, replace the windows, and do all of that. It was done even before Mr. Engelmeyer contacted me. I can show you that. The problem was the nature that had been there, and then the delay in tree people getting out there, and then the Unique Siding had to delay the work they did because they could not get a truck up the driveway. I'd be glad to show you multiple pictures of that. I wanted to show that to both of you when I made the phone call after I received that one letter from you, and you didn't seem to want to see or understand what was happening with that property. I am not currently staying there right now because I decided with all that work being done, I might as well stay at another place. But I come into that property every day, or at the most every other day. I have kept up the grass. I have kept up the taxes. That property is better kept up than many of them. It's sitting way back from the road. Even Mr. Engelmeyer admitted that it was in woods. It's not an eyesore to the community. You know, there are still houses from the tornado on Benham that have tarps on them. There's still houses being repaired. I guess I wish that somebody would have given me a little grace and understanding by just talking to me.
So is the damage to the property the result of the tornado?
No. I mean, trees have come down 3 different times in the period of the summer. Some of the damage, but the house was not hit except for the shingles were just sort of knocked off by some branches. So that was not, there's no property. Oh, and I'm sorry, one tree that fell branch took an awning off the front door and broke the glass to the storm door. But I did not even have the insurance pay for that because it would have upped my insurance probably, I just was going to take care of it myself.
Photos that the city gave to me, some of them are dated 12/23. Have you done anything since 12/23 with the property of last year?
Yes.
Sorry, I'm sorry, it's
That's just of last year.
23. Never mind.
At 12/23?
No. Yeah, 12/23.
But if you look at the notice of violations, they predate the tornado. So this has been a longstanding, ongoing issue of the house needing repair, and it's just not happening.
Can I comment on that? You mean with the tarp over it, the roof? Which repairs?
Whatever repairs that you're discussing and putting today as evidence, the issues with the property predate, the issues that the property predate the storm damage, so it's been an ongoing issue. The testimony that you're offering is that you're working on this, but the work isn't showing any progress. So we're going to ask that a demo order be issued, and if you choose to enter into a compliance agreement with established timelines with the city, that's fine, but we're still going to ask for a demo order to be issued for this property.
Understood you to say there was a demo order?
We're asking. There was a notice of violation. There's a notice of violations that predate the storm damage. So what I'm trying to say is that this has been an ongoing issue for over a year, and she's saying that she's making progress, but it doesn't appear that there's much progress being made. So if she wishes to enter into a compliance agreement with the city with established timelines and requirements, that's more than acceptable, but we're still going to ask the court, ask that you enter a demo order for the property.
Can I make a comment regarding that? I have not heard a date when you've said that I'd like to know the date when Mr. Engelmeyer first contacted me, and I responded with a letter, and I responded with a phone call to him, and the only thing that he said was the idea the roof needed to be fixed, and I can show that I was already, even before, I can show you an invoice from Unique that they had scheduled, they had given me an estimate, and I was in the progress of doing it. You say there's been no progress. What stopped the progress was the storms that came in, trees falling 4 different times, and blocking the drive, and those were remedied as soon as possible under the circumstances.
In the packet, there's a notice of violation that was mailed February 14th of 24 that addressed the repair on the roof. So that's almost a year to complete the work. Even with the tornadoes and the storm damage, any reputable roofing company can complete the work of a roof repair in a year.
And that is the time when I talked to him and told him I could not get it until the summer. And I had, at that time, like I said, we've had things at the school where both principals left the school. There was lots of things that I had to take care of that I didn't think I was going to have to. But even during, so he did not expect, Mr. Engelmeyer gave no indication that I would not have till the end of the summer and to get it done. And I know that he was upset when it didn't get done at the end of the summer, but I'm not sure how you can blame me. And for the storms that came through, blocking the roofers. Yes, you can technically say, or actually there was little progress made on the roof. No. There was other progress because he's going to do the rest of the siding and things, and he recommended that nothing else be done until, we do the roof first. And he had every intention of doing it. And his statement, if you want to see the email, says, both that he has the deposit from me, the money is in the bank, ready to do it. He's waiting for the weather to clear. We've had some bad weather. He has every intention. He's going to do it. And so I guess to have me be put under the stress of this, the word demolition to me is just, and to say, I guess to me also it's a matter of honor to say that I have not been in compliance and have not attempted to.
Was there a time at which you did make a compliance agreement with the city?
No,
No, we haven't. We drew one up in the hopes that we could talk to her with the timelines of the compliance agreement. So what we drew up for you was for you to contact Paul Goodwin, the building inspector, and have him come out and meet you on site by no later than 2/12 of this year.
212.
That's 2 weeks from today.
I'm just going to be honest. As a school teacher, as somebody that's taking chess players to the state of Indiana State, and all the other things that I'm involved with, that you say you drew it up, I have not had any notice of it. I don't feel it's fair to put that on me now. That's a short time frame anyways for me as a school teacher. And I'll be honest, at this point, you ask what, I'll put my students a little bit behind. I'm sorry, I'll put them ahead of some other things, like mowing the grass. But I have mowed the grass. I'm just asking, I guess, I don't know what I'm not familiar with this whole process here. I'm sorry, I'm smiling because at one time I worked for an attorney that was, but I'm not sure what the process is, but it seems like this should never have even been, if you had spoken with me and I asked to speak with both of you to show you and tell you, you would have realized this whole process is I felt uncalled for. I'm asking that you just, come back and inspect the property in X amount of whatever.
Well, the inspection process is more so the city has an understanding of what needs to be fixed, and then you have an understanding of what needs to be fixed. Then we would give you till July, I believe.
29th. July 29th of 2025.
July 29th, which is 6 months from today, to bring the house up to code.
What is not at code now?
I'm sorry?
What is not in code now? Where does it not meet code now?
Well, that's what we need to get the inspector in there to look and see what doesn't meet code, so we can then draw up a list of things that you need to fix.
I guess I'm not understanding why you do that with something, a house or a facility where there's been no evidence that it does not meet code now.
The tarp on the roof, the broken windows, the boarded up windows, the holes in the foundation, the falling down chimney,
Okay, the chimney that's falling down is for the apartment house. It's not a chimney attached to anything. It's just a show chimney. So, I mean, so you're saying you're wanting to look at those cosmetic things, because those cosmetic things, I mean, I can remove the chimney, but I'm not going to have the windows, I'm not going to have the siding done, because Unique is going to do the roof first. And then I'm not sure when they can get to the siding. And the siding is not, the siding not looking good is not a non-compliance with the city, is it? The hole in the foundation that the groundhog dug, the foundation only under the back porch, I can fill that in. I was trying to live trap the groundhog, but I can just he's hibernating right now, but I can just, let him die in there and I'll fill it in. The windows need to stay boarded up at this point until, you've talked about other break-ins, until I have the roof done, and then we can correct or replace and improve the outside.
Do you have an objection to meeting with one of the engineers to see what needs to be done?
On the outside or the inside?
And the inside.
I guess I don't have an objection, except that I've already taken off a half a day of school, which is a strain. I've been up since 1 o'clock this morning preparing subplans. I mean, I just don't, I guess, if it's going, I don't understand why it needs to be done, or the fairness of why. I feel like I'm being sort of singled out, to be honest.
purpose of the inspection is to give us a timeline and a list of things that need to be brought up to code.
She's asking for a list of things to be brought up to code, then she doesn't want to find out what those things are. So when she's given a timeline to fix those things, then she doesn't want to comply with the timeline.
No,
So we're
they-
just, may I finish?
Yes.
So we're looking at a situation where we're just kicking the can down the road because she wants to know what the issues are, where we tell her what some of the issues are, but there's excuses and reasons why there are these issues with the house. She doesn't want to seem to understand that we as a city need to make sure that the homes that people are living in are in compliance with our ordinances and also with the state building code. And so that it's our responsibility as a city entity to make sure that those houses are in compliance. As I said before, we're more than willing to enter into a timeline, a compliance agreement with her, but now she doesn't want to enter into a compliance agreement because she has other priorities that are more important than the house, which is the subject of this conversation. So as I said, she's just kicking the can down the road, waiting for more time. And if we don't give her, if we don't enter the demo order, and we continue this hearing, we'll be at this thing a year from now, having the same conversation again, and her coming back with more excuses as to why nothing's been done.
No.
She's been notified of the issues with the roof. It's been well over a year. It's been, I have this agreement, I have this understanding, and it's like everything gets kicked down the road because of other issues that come up. If she engages a reputable contractor, they can do work and it can do roof work in over a year. I mean, it's a simple process, and she's just not making sure that these things happen. So for her, the house is not a priority, and she just wants more time to, I guess, sit on this.
The house is a priority. Let me just say that the last time the house was broken into, it was trashed. I have things stored in there. I have a lot. I want to have to go in and clean that up so that you can even walk through the kitchen. Okay, I guess puts the only thing. It puts an extra burden on me. That's what I'm saying. It's not a matter that I don't want to. As somebody who is a former inspector in the modular housing, I understand compliance. Well.
You arrange for one of your inspectors to meet with Ms. Baker.
What are your school hours?
Monday I got off at 5 o'clock, 5:05. My technical school hours are until 3 o'clock, but I have other things that I do that I'm committed to, like running chess clubs, staff meeting, leadership team meetings that meet till 5.
So anytime after 5, Monday through Friday? I'm just asking. You know your schedule better.
It depends on the day. Yeah, I mean, after 5 is a time when technically I'm off.
So I think then what we'll do is I'll give you 2 weeks from today to contact and make an appointment with the building inspector
Who is?
after your work hours.
Who is?
Paul Goodwin. And if you go down, when you leave the building, go down to the permit center, they can give you his business card. He's the building inspector. So we'll give you to 2/12/25 to contact him for an inspection. And then I would like to see, at minimum, 6 months from that day, which would be 7/29 from today, 6 months from today, which is 7/29/25, to have the house brought up to code.
That is just the outside that he's referring to as far as bringing up to code. The inside, we can work timelines with you down the road because it's not being inhabited. Can be very lenient as far as time, but the outside needs to be brought up to code.
Baker, what is your mailing address?
The same, 3212 Pleasant Plain.
And what is your expectation for a year from now? Will you be living in the house there? Will you
Yes. Yes.
Is that what Mr. Vicine has outlined? Is that agreeable to you to get the ball rolling?
Yes.
So you'll go down and try to make an appointment with Mr. Goodwin today, but at least by 2 weeks from today, you'll have met with him.
I will have called him to try to set an appointment, was my understanding. If it might be
Then
a day later or something. I mean, the 12th, is that right? By the 12th, I need to have contacted him and made an appointment. Yes.
it will take some time for Mr. Goodwin to process what he.
Right, he'll get me give you a copy of it. And like Code Officer Engelmeyer said, let's address the exterior issues first and go from there.
Okay, I appreciate it. He'll mail it to me if he will not. I mean, I don't know if he's going to give me a copy, but I would ask that things be mailed to me and not stuck on the door. I appreciate that.
So I'm not clear on what the next step after the inspection report is made.
We have the compliance agreement drawn up, right, Kevin? Spelling out
That is correct.
the timeline of what I just gave you.
That is correct.
So it's a compliance agreement.
Right.
Okay.
So we'll ask you for the full demo order, and if nothing's done by that end of that time frame, or if you need another couple weeks, a month, and we see forward progress, I'll work with you.
You're talking about the outside for the
Yes.
demo, I mean, because,
But
okay.
if what you're gonna agree to isn't done by 7/29, anything's done on the outside, then I will put in order the full demo order. That gives you 6 months to take care of the entire outside. But let's
But
see
I
what.
guess
let's see
before I
what-
commit, I don't know.
Let's see
Okay.
what the report says from the building inspector.
Thank you. Yeah, that's what let's see what it says.
Right. It may not be as bad as you think.
I know it's not.
Or it might be worse. I don't know. I can only go off the pictures.
Baker, I want to make sure that my understanding is correct. Step one is for you to contact Mr. Goodwin and make an appointment. Step two is for him to inspect the premises and come up with a report of what is non-compliant with code. And then with that, the third step is for you and the city to make a compliance agreement setting forth what needs to be done and when it needs to be done. Is that the way you understand this?
I believe it is. And by premise, you're talking about the outside. Okay.
What kind of intervals of time after how long to get in conversation about it?
In the compliance agreement, we have spelled out 7/29, so 6 months from today.
Understand the timeline for getting it done. I'm talking about, doesn't sound like an agreement. It sounds like something you're requiring that she
Seems like we're
do without.
asking for it to be entered in the findings of fact, what you're discussing. So to create that timeline, put it in the findings of fact, and that way, when she has the meeting with the building commissioner, the building inspector, they can create, at that time, she can sign a compliance agreement. But if we put it in the findings of fact that she must enter into a compliance agreement with the city to repair and make substantial progress on the exterior work that has been discovered as violations by the building inspector, I think that's what I think that's the language we're sort of looking for in the findings of fact. Because you're asking for a deadline for when to enter a compliance agreement, but you're not going to really know until after the building inspector goes in. So the thought process would be in the findings of fact just to state that she enter into a compliance agreement with the city to address the issues that have been discovered by the building inspector, and that she makes substantial progress towards addressing those issues, and with a completion date of getting the house up to code by July 29th of 2025. That puts the onus on her to make sure that it gets scheduled and that she enters into a compliance agreement and starts working on the progress and getting the house up to code as soon as possible. It doesn't put a hard deadline on her by saying, by this day, you must be in a compliance agreement. But if she knows she has a hard stop at the end of July, she can enter into a compliance. She can still work on her house. It's her house. So if she wants to enter into a compliance agreement in June, but she's done work up until then, that's fine. It doesn't prevent her from working on the house. The compliance agreement is just a tool to hold her to a timeline. But in the end, the building commissioner wants the house up to code by July 29th of 2025.
Is this compliance agreement that apparently the city has drawn up what you're going to require of her?
Yes, that's what we're going to do. And that, as Mr. Vestine explained, the timelines that are in the compliance agreement are the ones that he just explained. Making contact with the building inspector by February 12th and having the house up to code by July 29th.
Typically, as I understand it, the compliance agreement is made after an inspection is done, not before.
It can be made after unless the owner knows what those issues are. So you are correct in that thought process, but if the homeowner knows what the issues are ahead of time, they can enter a compliance agreement with the city to address those issues. I mean, we do that more often than not. If there are issues that are discovered afterwards, then we can always address the timeline on the compliance agreement if there is something that is major that's going to carry the work beyond that time. But what we're looking for in compliance agreement is substantial progress. If something comes up and it's a major issue, and say the foundation is falling apart and it takes that kind of major work to be done, that's when the owner takes the responsibility, reaches out to the building department and says, hey, I know we have a compliance agreement, but I have this report showing that this major issue will not get fixed until after the timeline has expired. Then the city can adjust the timeline for the compliance agreement.
Yeah, see, this is exactly why you took the words sort of out of my mouth or out of my head when you were going through all the findings of facts. I don't want to sign or say I'm going to be in compliance, and I want an inspection. It might be more, it might be less. I'll come in here the next day or the next time. I don't know how often you meet. I will do that, and then we can come to agreement. But you're asking me to. So I'm asking, I will contact the person. We'll make some time.
I think to make this as clear as possible, I will find that the building is unsafe. I will authorize the city to demolish it. I will stay that demolition, provided that you meet Mr. Goodwin, get the evaluation of what needs to be done, and within 2 weeks after Mr. Goodwin's report is finished, you meet with the city to try to make a more specific compliance agreement than the one that I think I've heard about today. And then city will try to work out a timeline, but I'll set a deadline of the end of July 29th, to have the work done. If the work can't be done by then, or perhaps you can work out a different date with the city in the compliance agreement. Understand?
I do. I'm assuming if we can't come to an agreement, or if the 29th I feel is unreasonable. Well, okay, I think I do understand. I'm just saying, I don't know but let's not go there yet. If it doesn't seem reasonable what they're asking, but
Let's get the inspection done
yes,
first.
I agree.
And go from there. How's that?
Sounds great.
Evan, are you good?
Yes.
Clear?
Yes,
Thank you very much.
thank you for your time.
Appreciate your coming.
Nine ten South Second Street.
What is your name, please? Could you sit closer to the microphone, please?
You can slide the microphone up towards you. Yeah, there you go.
Nubia Areola.
How are you related to 910 South Second Street?
Actually, I'm purchasing the house on land contract, but he's my brother too, the owner. Yeah.
Were you sworn at the beginning of today's proceedings? Okay. Is he ready to go?
All right, started. Mr. Engelmeyer, state your name for the record, please.
Bruce Engelmeyer,
And how are you employed? You're employed as a code inspector for the city of Elkhart?
code officer with the city.
Okay, are you familiar with the address 910 South Second Street?
Yes, I am.
How are you familiar with 910 South Second Street?
910 South Second Street had a significant fire in the residence May 17th of this year. I waited a good month before I sent my initial letter out for a fire inspection of the property.
Do you know if the fire inspection was done?
No, it was not. I posted the property on the door and never got any response from the owner on any postings on the inspections of the house. I think I posted 2 letters there to get the fire inspections done. You know, so the house, if it could be repaired, would be repaired, but I had no contact from the owner or anybody else until today's date.
So looking at the pictures, what's the time frame or date for the pictures, for these pictures that you included here? Do you have an estimate?
Those pictures are actually within a month. You know, same damage that they've been boarded up like this since the fire, and nothing has been done on the property.
Again, just to be clear, have you had contact with the owner of the house or the person with the land contract?
I have not had any contact with the owner at all. Today is the first day that I've met the person with the land contract.
Okay. What other issues have you found with the exterior of the house?
From what I can tell, it looks like the roof is about to, cave in where they cut holes, in the roof for the fire, and it looks to be some major damage to the rear, but I have no idea, other than that.
And what is your recommendation for the property?
We were looking for a demo order.
All right, thank you. That's all we have.
Is there anything you would like to ask Mr. Engelmeyer about what he has said?
Clear, and I know planning to change.
Wait one second.
Yes.
We'll
Let's
get,
move up to the
we'll
mic.
get to your testimony in a minute. Any other evidence from your side?
Anything from the building commissioner?
That what?
Anything from the building commissioner?
I don't have anything, no.
All right, that's all we have.
Would you spell your name for me, please?
N-U, B as a baby, I-A.
Dubia
Yep,
and
Ariola.
Ariola.
Mm-hmm,
Okay. And you're a land contract buyer of this.
yeah, me
What
and my
are the
husband.
terms of your land contract?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Who's the owner?
Ruben Ariola is my brother.
And what is there a written land contract?
I do have the land contract in here.
Just summarize what the terms are.
Land contract, it just, I purchased it for $30,000. I gave him a deposit of $7,700 a month in 2 years. Yeah.
So your intention with this property under the land contract is to
It's to fix it
rebuild
and live
get
there.
it back up to code
Yeah.
and live in it
Yeah.
eventually?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What is the status of the property as you see it?
Actually, it's not really bad. Inside, I know outside with the fire, the siding, one part got up. Yeah, it's like, it's not really burned out, but it needs to be replaced. We're gonna replace that and change the roof. The part, the firefighter made a hole to get inside the
Right, the
house.
vent, yeah.
Yeah, and some of the inside the house, part of the living room, got water. So we kind of been going inside the house, trying to fix the walls. Yeah.
You have not had a fire inspection report by any of our city officials?
No. That's the
Okay.
first time I'm with the city, and yeah, because I saw the paper on the door when we went to clean the house.
Well, I think that would be our first step, is to contact Paul Goodwin, our building inspector, and schedule a inspection report. He needs that before we can move forward any direction of any repair, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, drywall, anything. So he's got to give me an inspection report to tell me the status of what the building is going to need. And then at that point, he'll tell you what it's going to need to be brought up to code. And then all of your contractors that you will need to hire, minus your building contractor, will all need to be licensed in the city of Elkhart. Your plumbing, your electrical, and your mechanical all need to be licensed contractors. Your building contractor does not need to be licensed. I'll go over that in his report when he comes out to meet you on site, and he'll go through the property and give you a list of what you need to do. Sketches, if there's members that need to be replaced, roof members. I don't know I don't know the current status of it, so we'll start with getting a hold of Paul. We'll put it to the same timeline by next month, the 12th.
Standing what the 12th stands for.
That'll be for where the land contract owner will contact the building inspector to get a report. And then once we get the report, we can enter into a compliance agreement at that point, and go from there.
Okay.
Agreeable?
Mm-hmm. I'm agreed
And
with
what is your mailing address?
that. I live in Goshen right now. It's 2406 Bashaw Road.
Bashor?
46526.
You have a cell phone number?
Yes, I do. 574 202
606?
202 574 202 1379.
And is 2406 Bashor Road a house?
2406 Basho Road, yeah, where I live.
It's a house, residence. Where you, this address is a residential house.
Yeah,
Okay. And the zip code was what? 7?
46526.
6.
It's in Goshen, yep.
Are you clear on what the agreement is?
I'm so clear, yeah.
Then thanks for coming. I'll send you the final, or what, my portion of it, and then you and the city can take over and try to get the house back in action.
Okay, thank you.
Just so everybody's clear, I just want to make sure we're going to enter in for a full demo order. That's a two-year order, and as you make progress, we'll get that lifted.
Okay.
Okay? But contact Paul before the 12th of the next month. Okay?
Thank
And I'll
you.
get the ball rolling.
Clear?
Yep.
Thank you.
Four 403 West Garfield.
You discussed the compliance agreement with this person?
No.
What is your name, please?
Marcolyn McGee.
I'm sorry, say the first name again.
Marcolyn?
Marklin
Yes.
McGee.
Yes.
And what is your mailing address?
59329 Merrimack Lane, Elkhart, 46517.
59329.
Yes.
You ready?
Yep.
Okay. All right, Mr. Engelmeyer, please state your name for the record, please.
Bruce Engelmeyer.
Okay. Are you employed as a code inspector for the city of Elkhart?
Yes, I am.
So in your work as a code inspector for the city of Elkhart, are you familiar with the property located at 403 West Garfield in Elkhart?
Yes, I am.
Can you tell us about the property?
The property that we're having is a garage that has the roof on both sides of it, has holes where it's caving in, and the soffit has fallen off the garage. You know, we're asking, for a demo order on the garage. I've, sent several letters to this address. I've posted it on the front door of the address and have got no response until just recently. I believe it's the lady that is here that reached out to us, that she got, notified through the mail, referenced the hearing on the garage. But other than that, posting it on the house, I never received any calls or anything from anybody.
So if you look at, in the packet, there's 3 notices of violations, one dated July 1st of 2024, another dated November 6th of 2024, another dated May 29th of 2024. Those were posted on the property and sent to the owner?
Yes, they were.
Okay, and you received no response from the owner to any of those?
None at all.
Okay. All right. So what are you asking, what's your recommendation that we do with the property?
If the roof's not repaired, a demo order on the garage.
Okay. All right. Is there any other issues with the garage that you?
The roof and the soffit is, falling off. It's a danger, and it's a eyesore, and that's why we're addressing it.
All right, that's all I have.
Ms. McGee, before we get started with your response to that, what is your legal relationship to the property?
It's my deceased mother's property. So it's not my
How
mother's.
has it come to you?
I'm not sure. My mother died without a will. I have two siblings besides myself. My sister, her husband, her daughter, and her grandson lives in the home. I have not lived in the home in over 30 years. And
This
so,
was a family home?
yes.
Longtime family home?
So I'm not sure how the whole assumed responsibility came to me, because it's my understanding under law, when you die without a will, every heir has equal sharing in the home. And so I didn't know any of these notices. I knew of the first one, but I didn't know any of these notices were sent to the home. I didn't know anything was put on the door because I don't live there. So I was
And you
unaware of this going on.
Did you have a sister who was
Yes,
also
she
an
lives
heir?
there.
What is your sister's name?
Jacqueline McGee. Well,
Jacqueline?
Jacqueline Williams. She's married now.
Jacqueline Williams. McCoy?
Boy.
I know you're thinking that. Because she died, if she died intestate,
My mother died 3 years ago from COVID. I am now in talks with a state lawyer to try to do some things, but I mean, I think me and my siblings should have received a letter with this being all three of our responsibilities besides myself. Because like I said, I knew of the first letter, but I had no idea any more letters was sent or any notices was placed on the door of the home. All I knew was I got this letter to come to court, and that was it, besides the first notification.
Title holder.
I am not arguing that with you. I'm just trying to figure out, it's talking a garage. So the question is, will the garage be repaired and not left in the state that it's in? We may have to.
I'm sorry.
We may have to continue this until we figure out until ownership of the house is established. Because you can't hold anybody responsible because technically it's in the deceased mother's name still. So depending on how that works out, you may become the owner, she may become the owner. We don't know. So we're gonna have to continue this for an appropriate amount of time to get this worked out, to figure out who the true owner of the property is and be able to hold that person responsible.
You understand that, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
That agreeable to you?
Yes, because I'm seeking a state lawyer right now, in the process of working with that. So,
Continue it indefinitely?
I would rather put a timeline on it, so that way that there's some sense of effort to make sure that this gets done. You're seeking an attorney at this point, but you have not made sorry, I will say this in English, I apologize. You're seeking an attorney, but you have not hired an attorney as of this point.
I was working with an attorney as a friend, and she has a friend that she's going to set me up with. She
Okay.
went on vacation this week. So I was saying within the next couple of weeks, I guess if the lawyer's not busy, because the lawyer talked to us, not an estate lawyer.
Okay, fine
So
enough.
that I can get with her, and I'm not sure, when she comes off vacation, she'll let me know what her friend says, and I'll make contact.
What I would suggest is maybe continuing this for 6 months. At that point in time, we hit a reset to see where we are in the process. You'll see where you are in the litigation process to figure out what's going on. And then that way, we'll know where we stand. Because continuing indefinitely, it may slip through the cracks. And then we're only talking a garage. So I'm asking that we continue this for 6 months. And then that way you can have a chance to work it out. And then we ask that you stay in contact with the city, the building department, the building commissioner, to let them know what's going on. Okay.
Wait, please, come on up and we need to get you on the microphone. Have a seat. Green light's on there. Will you say your name again?
Jacqueline McCoy.
McCoy. Okay. And what is your address, Ms. McCoy? 403. You're living in the house? Okay. And did you receive notice?
I did receive, my sister was aware of. The notice back in July that we received. Recently, we received 2 notices. One as a court date, have one that we received in.
I'm asking these questions because it doesn't appear to me that you were listed as one of the owners.
That's why I'm here.
Well, and I think you heard that that's going to have to be sorted out.
But the reason I want to know is any kind of notices that. I have that information.
Well,
Court notice was mailed to the house in Mama's name, and one was mailed to my house. So there was notification at the house. So,
that's how you
yeah,
found out
true
about
that.
it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll add your name into the list here, and you and your sister can deal with the city, and I'll set it out for 6 months and go from there. Clear?
Kelsey and
6 months would be,
yes. It's in your notes. I don't think so.
$32.15 Kelsey. $32.15 Kelsey.
Mr. Engelmeyer, state your name for the record, please.
Bruce Engelmeyer.
Are you employed as a code inspector for the city of Elkhart?
Yes, I am.
In your employment as a code inspector for the city of Elkhart, are you familiar with the address 3215 Kelsey?
Yes, I am.
How are you familiar with that address?
The address had a fire back in July of '23, and been sending letters to have fire inspections, repair, or demolish the property. We've had several trash letters sent out. The zoning officer was dealing with the people living in a trailer behind the house after the fire. And finally, we were able to get the trash cleaned up, but then the people walked away from the house. They had no insurance on the house, and I've had no contact with them for probably 6 to 7 months.
So according to your file, you sent a letter in order to take action notice on June 10th of 2024. Did you receive a response from the owner at that point?
None at all.
There's another one dated October 28th of 2024. That was mailed to me. That was mailed to the owners of the house. Any response to that?
None.
Okay. What is your recommendation for the property?
With the fire damaged house, we're recommending demo order.
That's all we have.
And it would be for a house, the shed and the fence for the whole demo order, because the property is, that's included in it and left.
Curious about this one because the report shows that Billy Lard is deceased. There is a notice to unknown heirs or devisees. Think that's strong enough to have established jurisdiction?
The- We don't know whose heirs. I don't have a good answer for you. I do not have a good answer for you.
Is there any way to determine whether there are any living interested parties?
That's what's going through my mind, trying to figure out, just like in this other situation, we just knew because they appeared that they were living in the house, so they were the heirs. But here, if he died without a will and he died with no known heirs, other than doing a record search on an obituary to see if we can find the obit and see if we can find anything from the obituary, it's going to be a struggle to figure out if this, because he's got such a common name, it'll be a challenge to see if there are heirs. But we can do that search.
How long do you think the search would take?
By the next time we meet together, we'll have it. It'll be done. It's not that long. So the next time, what I'm trying to say is that the next time we schedule the OTA hearings, this will be back on the agenda.
So we'll reset this to the next.
Yes, we've set it to
hearing.
the next OTA hearing, and then this will be on the agenda.
Okay, then we will continue this hearing until the next hearing day.
Is there a notification that we send out for errors of properties? Because we've ran across this before.
We have, I remember that. I'm not sure what.
Posting in the newspapers.
Yeah, we do that. We do the publish in the newspapers, and hopefully people are still reading the newspapers. But I mean, we can check the obit. I know we published. I don't know what else that we could do in terms of a record search to figure out if there's relatives, some long-lost relative someplace else that's not in this local jurisdiction.
We put language in for that. Errors came out during the notification process.
I'm trying to look at the notice that we publish in the paper, because I don't draft this notice.
Do you know the date that Mr.
His date of death?
Millard was deceased?
I do not have his date of death. In all fairness, I believe there's other issues outside of this parameter that we have in terms of other tickets that were written. I may know this, but I don't have it at hand right now because I'm familiar with the name for other tickets that have been written, and I think I've found the obituary for him, but it was for another issue. So I need to look at that to see what we found.
So we'll just roll it till the next hearing?
Yes. Because as I said, I think there's other violations that were written on the property from like the zoning officer. So we know that he's deceased, and I did not look to see if there were errors, if we found the obit.
Table that until the next OTA hearing, correct?
Correct.
.510 Fremont.
And
510 Fremont.
You ready? Okay. All right, Mr. Hunt, what's your name? Can you state your name for the record, please?
Ken Hunt.
Are you employed as a code inspector for the city of Elkhart?
Yes, I am.
In your responsibilities as a code enforcement officer for the city of Elkhart, are you familiar with the address known as 510 Fremont in Elkhart?
Yes, sir.
What can you tell us about the property?
Just looking at the pictures, this is a fire-damaged home that has been, they have done any progress to it. I think the city had to put the fence around the building to keep to keep it safe from people going into it. There's two parts to this property. I think before the fire damage, it was a lead poison issue where it had been vacant for a long time, and then they had the fire.
Any other issues that you found with the property?
No, just the fire and the lead poisoning, and we're asking for demolition of the property.
Anything from the building commissioner?
Just that go for a full demo order, cleanup of the property, and make it a clean property.
Have you had any contact from the owner of the property?
I have had contact with the owner personally at his residence in Napanee, Indiana. Explained to him the process of what was going to take place. He said he was going to show up to court. He also stated that he didn't have the money to do the demolition himself, but if we were to demo it for him, he would make payments with the city.
Anything else?
No, sir.
Okay. Anything else? That's all we have.
At this point, then, I'll find that the structure at 510 Fremont is unsafe within the meaning of acknowledged at the time. And
We're good. Okay. Thank you, sir. Is that I think that's the last one. That's the last one? Okay.